where are you going? The known path or your own path? Iona College is where you'll be given the means to dream and find meaning in your dreams. To serve while you learn and learn while you serve. To fight the good fight and to own your path. So, where are you going? Iona College. Learn outside the lines.
We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men, for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Welcome back to EGFC CSGO. This is our second series of the night. After we went to double OT back on Overpass, that was a crazy first series, but we got another one heating up for you. It's Iona versus Marquette University. I'm Los, joined by Viking. What are your thoughts initially on this second series of the day?
Well, on paper, we certainly would favor Marquette. They were dethroned last week by DePaul officially going into that third place position, but the difference between third and the rest is significant. Right now, there are 6 games that separate third from fourth right now, which is just kind of an indication of how stratified the teams are as you get into these like top versus midfield. Iona is smack dab in the middle of that midfield in 6th position, tied with South Alabama and Villanova. Although with Villanova taking that up, they're going to be fighting to take back that position. But Miggs taking out Lockdown, new player on the team.
Oh my God.
Prod on the second, Miggs with 2. Alternate coming in for that cleanup. That is a very fast and decisive round win for Marquette in round 1. Iona could be in for a bit of a rough ride.
Yeah, easy start for them right there. Not exactly what you want to have on your VAPS rush. Rod, Miggs, Alter, lock it down. And this is the first time we actually found success with those dualies, Tyler.
It is. And of course, it's Marquette that's the one that is going to be able to bring that out. And of course, they're going to hold on to those. So we're going to see them come through, I don't know, maybe a couple more times. Alter's got a little bit of a one-way there. He's going to take out Snip Picks from the top of mid. I mentioned some new players on the side of Iona. Lockdown is a relatively new player competing in the last 2 weeks, but their newest addition is Juzab. So there's just new players all around for a bunch of teams that we were seeing today as rosters closed before playoffs. So Alter catching just a little glimpse under a pass, and Juzab taking some big damage.
Okay, Alter
damage.
still on firm. Giuseppe wanted a bit more, and I guess, you know, second time's the charm. Won't be the case. Well, second time here for Lockdown as they continue locking down, or I mean, no, that would have been good if they were actually getting the kills. It's Alter still finding success here. All 3 kills going to them so far, but they got a bit greedy. As Connor turns the tide, now they recovered that M4, jumping on the Tetris, might be able to do something here. However, Miggs is creeping, he's crawling, and he's got that flank onto Connor, and they recover that rifle.
Connor would have been my choice if I was Iona, talking about my last player alive with an M4 to do some damage. Not able to do a lot there, but Connor has generally been one of the lead players for Iona over the past couple of weeks, also the in-game leader, and Opper. So just a lot of good times all around. But Marquette commanding those first two rounds. Iona able to come in with a buy now, although Connor, in lieu of the op, only has a scout. So not the ideal position that they want to be in, but without getting the bomb down in those previous rounds. They're just going to be short a couple dollars, and that's the nature of the game, baby.
You know, if you were looking at some boomer advice, they probably should have just stopped buying those coffees on the way to work. Just make some at your own house. Then you'd be able to afford a real gun.
But then how would I have the energy? I mean, how would they have the energy to do the work that needs to be done here?
See, you're just you're a lazy T.
We've always, I mean,
oh,
what is happening?
Oh my God! Wait, another one still.
How is he still alive? That's not fair. Migs needs a hard reset. That was a mulligan. He doesn't get another one.
Okay. Oh, the timing. Okay. Oh man. Counter-Strike global timing right now for Migs. My God. There's 3 for him. How did they survive that round? Tyler, that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have. I mean, sure, you get caught with a nade one time, that's fine. You get caught with a second time, or the latter. That was wild. That was very lucky for the side of Marquette, and unfortunately for Iona, that means another round on the board for them, and they're back to pistols. That being said, there are a lot of deagles out there, and they have their players. Most of the players in this league, you give them a deagle, you got something there. So I would expect something, not nothing.
Now I'm just thinking about the kill, which was something and not nothing back on overpass. But now we got blinded a little bit, but they're still good for 1. Pulling out the dualies, not enough time, as they will be removed from play. Only Giuseppe will be the one who cost them, or has costed their life. Convert that into a rifle and a plant as well. Migs with the AK. Who's Private Bean? And they're good for a few more. Maybe if they last through the smoke, they might get killed by a lockdown. And that's the case. So it's all up to Connor right underneath that window. Sees one jump into the smoke, and they want to just stall out for time. The knife pulled out by Remy. That might have been a mistake. It's a 1v1 now. Alto realizes where the last player is, so they're sending out the molly. It's going to be a forced play. They have to get out of position. And there is the defuse kit on Alter. So they could win that one out. That got hairy, though. That got a little bit crazy.
Yeah, not an expected outcome by any means. And Connor just, again, we talked about that in the second round, getting the M4 and trying to do his best. A little bit of redemption opportunity there. Not able to pull through, but does quite a bit of damage and makes it very close. If Alter doesn't end that round with a molly, I think that goes the way of Iona. So we talked a little bit in the pregame about how Iona on paper at a disadvantage to Marquette, as anybody below third position would be. Unfortunately, just the way that things have played out, but they are putting up a really good fight. They're keeping themselves in these rounds and giving them the opportunity to build some back. The challenge that they have to face is actually closing those rounds out and making sure that they can put some of those numbers up on the board.
And we were having some troll plays out of Marquette. I mean, running it in with the knife. When you have 3 players left alive, you'd expect something nice out of that. Sure. You'd expect it not to be converted into 2 kills, creating a 1v1. So, oh my God. A knife was secured. A knife kill by Migs.
Honor nonetheless.
Where was that even? Where did that even happen?
Was that pushing out a B, maybe? Hard to say. Iona on the retreat now, going over towards the A site. Retreating from B towards the A site. But they honestly should have gone back the other direction at this point. Although Lockdown all the way back in CT, taking a very offensive position across the board, and is going to try to keep the way clear for his teammates as they pick up the bomb and go onto site. Alter doing a little bit of damage there, is just keeping these players down to almost nothing. But Jezeb able to do a little bit of damage to Alter and going to try to equalize it a little bit. Lockdown catches Migs on the stairs, going to span through that smoke and find Alter. That is first round for Iona on the board, and looked pretty good. I mean, that was 100% on Lockdown's individual play to just get into that site and keep finding those frags. Comes away with a hefty 4K on that last round. And I'm sure the eternal gratitude of his teams, especially if they're able to string another round off of that.
And not to mention, this is a much more crucial round, a much more important round, because the economy's weak for Marquette. Because all of the players that they lost on round 4, so they're having a bit of a weak buy. They don't have full utility. They don't have helmets as well. So if you could win this one, if you're Iona, get that plant as well as the full-on win, this is putting you in a great position to recover.
It is, and I like their chances. This is definitely an opportunity for them to take advantage of the equipment differential that we see there. Although Prod with that Nova, we've seen those become, cross-map shotguns or sniper rifles at different points, and that could create huge problems, especially because he's sitting in that advanced app position. So depending on what happens as Iona progresses through that, although they've opted to go underpass, but Private Bean, my dude. kidding. They don't know. I don't know. Migs finding Jezza, but Connor and Lockdown immediately trade that out. 1 for 2 going in favor of Iona. Prod back with that shotgun. Migs throw. Oh my God, there's so many trades being so many traded kills back and forth. This feels really good for Iona.
And there it is, Prod. They've got the Nova in honor of Villanova, I believe.
Yeah. Tribute.
So maybe they can pull off a similar status. Bring out Clutch and Nova. And they're not picking up the gun that they found on the ground. They're not doing that.
Oh, they just picked up another one, but there's that Kobe. I think that was the first Kobe of the round, so of the map, excuse me. So good. Hooray. Exciting. Iona doubles their rounds to 2 with a 2-round differential from Marquette, who's doubled the 2 rounds of Iona.
A lot of doubling going on.
Just doubles. Double trouble, something.
And now that's a double down coming in from Marquette because they're spending money. We've got the Swag 7 on Prod. They're feeling like a shotgun player. So this is a little. I feel like this is a bit of hubris from Marquette, truly believing in themselves, spending excessive money on rounds where they should be saving, putting themselves even further in the hole economically. They're just trying to ride things out, beam things out until that loss bonus really kicks in.
We have seen Marquette be kind of trolly and get punished for it in the past, so that certainly could be the case here. Although Iona, with their equipment differential, with the exception of our boy Private Bean over there, who's just got a single Glock, Alter is able to find that one. Connor and Lockdown find kills on Remy and Just Rich. They're going to have control of this site. They're going to be able to lock it down, so to speak. Although Migs, the kill leader on the board right now, comes in, finds snip picks immediately. Private Bean still with just the Glock. Playing from back inside, he's going to be trapped into that firebox. And boy, Iona's still got a pretty big hill to climb, considering that it's a 3v3 and they still just have that clock on the board.
I guess they thought someone was shooting from behind. Whoa, Private Bean.
Respect the
Doesn't
Glock.
allow that Swag 7 to find value. There's the fire and firebox. They got to move, and it's a forced pull. Migs only has 14 HP. The second that Connor peeks with that up, that's going to be crucial. Oh, they back off. You can win.
That's a good bait.
Just run.
Run, Connor, run. Save yourself.
They get it done.
That was an excellent play. Much closer than I would have expected, and I should not have talked smack about the Glock. Obviously, a huge difference maker off of Private Bean's play there. So Iona closing that gap up, taking on the Marquette team that opted to invest really heavily into that. And as a result of that, just like you said, they don't have anything to deal with this round except for the AK that Migs was able to save over from that previous round. So not even a shotgun out for Prod this time around, just a couple Deagles and some P250s. So still a lot of damage potential on the side of Marquette, but Iona is in a great position to equalize this.
Okay, some shots out from Snip. A little bit of damage onto Remy, but nothing too serious. We have the forward play coming in from that apartment player, that being Prod. Oh my God, Just Rich on top of default. Hits one without a problem, that pistol. So things are, I wouldn't exactly say going in the way of Marquette right now, but they are making lemonade out of these sour lemons. Bad pistols.
Classic.
I almost, in the middle of me saying that, I was like, oh my God, what was the phrase again? That's why I said that's
How
why
does
you
one
may have
make
been thinking,
lemonade?
like, where is he going with this?
What is the crucial ingredient to that drink? There we go. All right, Connor able to get himself a little bit there. Almost goes down to Just Ridge playing on those jump boxes in the front there. Remy finding somebody. Migs coming out. This is a B site that's a lot less secure than they thought it was going to be. Migs almost takes off the head of another Iona player. Both of them in. Oh my goodness. That so dangerous. That spray almost goes there. And now it's newcomer Jezeb who's got to recover the bomb, take out Remy who's recovered an op, and try to find some way to do this in the next 20 seconds.
There's that plan. Able to get it done, and a lot of damage over onto Remy. They were only going in with the Deagle. One more from either player was enough to finish off the round, and there's the equalizer. There's an op back in the hands of Iona, but they did lose all of their players, save for Giuseppe in the end. So this will be a costly one. Snipix in a pauper's position right now. However, Op given over. It's a buddy gun. So now this is the full-on equal firepower round here.
Yeah. Iona really has some very quiet players right now. You know, Bean and Jezeb with only 3 kills going into the 9th round. Snip with just 1 on the op. So this is their opportunity to step up now that Marquette's back at full strength with their M4s. I think great efforts by Jezeb there to clutch that out for his team, really making his presence known in the first appearance that he's made for the team so far this season. But still a lot of work to take down Marquette. So quiet. There's just nothing happening. Just a bunch of people standing around wondering.
Okay. Now, oh, what? A great shot from Miggs in the middle. Canceled spin off of Malcolm in the middle. But now there's 3 left here for Iona. And they're bringing the bomb over toward apartments. And they haven't gained much ground. I mean, they are only ensured that the beginning of CTFs are cleared. So now once they jump out, they'll have to deal with Miggs. But let's not forget Prod is there to greet them once they pass through that first filter. And no one has even made it that close. Prod decides, you know what, I'm tired of being on the sideline. Get me in the action. They move to Van and close it out. With the equal firepower, Marquette has no problem securing the win. And it even forces out an Iona timeout.
That's a good choice. That was quite the decisive route, and it's going to hit their economy because while they have won most of the last few rounds, they've been doing that at a pretty significant cost. You know, it's been a 1v1 or a 2v1 and not being able to save a lot of rifles, and especially as they're trying to keep an op on the board. Last round for Snips or before with Connor, not working out for them so far, but they got to do something to keep that all together. Probably just gonna do whatever they can with these pistols. I'm hoping to see some underpass play because obviously, you know, trying to force those close angles is going to be helpful. Maybe a little bit of play over into Palace trying to bait somebody in, but Marquette, for the most part, has been pretty respectful of not pushing all the way through. One of the kind of hallmarks of their team is when they feel really comfortable, they're going to start trying to bully the T side as they're playing on CTs, trying to force them into uncomfortable positions, getting those flanks by exploiting some of those gaps that happen just as you're playing your defaults. And so far, we haven't seen that, which to me says that Iona, while in a difficult position right now, has at least managed to make sure that Marquette doesn't get to that point of feeling like they can just do whatever they want without any potential consequences.
Okay, now we have a flurry of utility flying over onto A, but it doesn't even matter. Alter and Just Rich are making quick work of Iona. And they're turned to mincemeat. No issues there, but you know what? Oh, wow. Oh, Remy. Oh, no. Shooting the bodies. It was an eco round. It was an eco.
Well, you know, just gotta establish your presence, I guess, whenever you can. And unfortunately, if you only feel like you can do that on an eco round, maybe that says a little bit more about their team. Some
player commentary here. We got a Incend as Prod sends it out. We'll be forcing out that smoke, but Prod find one. There's the Kobe from Miggs. They have the support. Frag goes out to Van, so it might cause a little bit of damage, but actually goes wide. Prod finally dying to the Mac 10. But Alters here is providing that backup. And anyone who even thinks about stepping outside of the Abyss will face the wrath of Marquette. And Alter wants to even take the fight over them. And that's another very quick round. Only 1 casualty on the side of Marquette again.
Yeah, you look at Miggs right now, he's on a roll. I mean, he is just heads and shoulders above everybody else in the server right now. And that has absolutely shown as Marquette has started to fight their way back into, one, taking back the momentum of the kills and the round wins. Obviously, they're starting to recover from losing a few in a row to Iona. And while they gave them those rounds, they're making the last few look very dominant. And a lot of that, again, on the shoulder of Miggs. 20 kills on the server is pretty significant at only 12 rounds in.
That is a disgusting statistic right there. I mean, what do you? That seems like an end game score line that we're seeing from Migs. It's pretty much the Migs and Alter show at the moment, but even so, Alter is definitely getting left behind. Wow, what an insane play coming out from these guys right now. And just to imagine until we swap over to the T side. This is all them playing it back and allowing Iona to run through. When they're on the offensive, I cannot wait to see what they're bringing to the table. Oh.
Well, you know, just a little kiss for good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, what's a little knife play between friends? Am I right?
Yeah. Who are we to judge the way that teammates bond, right? Connor with that opening pick on Alter is not a small deal, but Remy feeling out the presence in Palace just pushes through, finds a quick headshot, and now we're back to 4v4. Iona in a bunch of positions all over the map, finding that one-to-one trade. It's like Marquette just knows as soon as they lose a player, they got to take one back, and they're consistently positioned to do that. Connor being forced to sort of be a little, we'll say, paranoid about his pushes, as he knows what Marquette is capable of doing, but he's going to creep back up into that mid, trying to take more of that control. Meanwhile, the rest of his team playing around, rotating through all the different positions and underpass, and going back towards mid, trying to figure out where all of those Marquette players, all of which are starting to encircle that mid position. This could be the first altercation, but it seems like Marquette's given up on the idea that everybody's going to be in that mid position, going back to the defaults on site, trying to understand the most information they can get from the Iona side. And Iona just kind of stuck in mid right now, trying to figure out what to do.
Okay, now there's 3 by connector. I honestly think Just Rich sends out the insit, but that'll reveal his position, but he's good for 2! Actually, it's also Migs from the back line. They come in perfect conjunction. All
Migs
this
is everywhere. Migs is life.
Honestly, Migs is everywhere. But,
very good closeout to the round for the side of Marquette. They're starting to they're not starting. They're continuing to roll and getting that momentum. They let Iona get a couple of those early rounds and then kind of got what's the word? They built up their confidence significantly, kept all that going, and I'm still struggling to find the words, so I'm giving it back to you, Los. I'm trying real hard. I know there's a phrase that I'm trying to find, but it's just not happening. But with the lull in action, I guess I've got more time to think about what I've done.
Yeah, okay. You have some time to think. I'll jump back on, and then we'll come back to you in a few moments. Speaking of comeback, possibility here for Iona. It's a little slim for the comeback, but it's only a 4-round differential. The gap isn't that great. But the realization that Iona had a few players in tunnels, send out some mollies, keep them away. And now the issue here is getting past Prod. Prod has never given up this position without at least taking down 2 with him. Maybe even 3. I mean, really, the one time that they died in this spot was when they full-on rushed him, finally got killed with the MAC-10. And in the end, it was just a full-on Marquette retake. They were ready for the player to just rush out. All 4 of them were sitting on site proper, so it was no problem. Here's the hands being shot. The bomb just flies away like you meant to throw it like a nade, and that's completely out of their reach. So essentially, that pretty much means this round is all but over. There's the bomb down again. Send out another one. Migs is good for it. You clearly know that Migs is going to be good for it. 24 kills for this man right now.
Far and away the most impactful player on the team so far. I mean, you're looking at the rest of his teams, 3 of which are still in the single digits, not because they're not finding success, but because Migs just feels like he's everywhere. I mean, you look at the kill feed, he's always in some sort of participation. Marquette's moving around a lot behind their defense lines, trying to make the most out of it right now. Remy with the op from the window position is going to be kind of a look to see what happens. Connor finds Alter, so that's 1 op off the board. Not a bad start for Iona going into round 14. They only have 2 rounds left in this half. Unfortunately, lockdown going to Just Rich is not going to help out their cause. They still got lots of tools on the board, lots of players, lots of pawns moving around, doing their thing. So, we'll see how they play as they continue to slowly push into these different areas across the map.
An issue that we're finding right now is that Iona isn't putting any set pieces together. They're constantly defaulting. The only time that they really play together in unison is when they just run it down through apartments. And even then, that's mostly on an eco, so it's kind of just like a, hey, let's get this round over with so we can have guns next time.
Yep.
So I don't know what the plan is, because they go so slow. They only send in utility when it's just 1v1. They're sending in duels, but hey, here's an opportunity. Just Rich will die. But they're not going to go without taking someone with them. Misery does love company. They'll be sent to the fiery pits of hell. A friend. The second that they try to make it onto the site, can't get the bomb down without facing off with the consequences. It's a firing squad here for Marquette.
A little bit closer than we've seen in previous rounds, but certainly not enough to turn the tide. So Iona got to do the best that they can to get this 5th round on the board, because I feel like that's a good kind of benchmark point, right? Where, obviously, if you're finishing 8-7, pretty equal, pretty easy to see that swapping momentum as you swap sides. Same thing can be said even for a 9-6 half, but 10-5 I feel like is sort of the floor for where you want to reasonably comfortably be, and that's still going to require you to put up a good showing in the pistol round. So that's kind of the situation that they're dealing with right now, and it's not an easy ask. Marquette obviously just killing it over the last several rounds, going undefeated since Iona's 4th round was put on the board. And that has been just a consistent thing happening. And Remy taking out snip picks, Alter, those ops are just absolutely devastating from the side of Marquette.
Connor will have some success. Just Rich is down, and now they want to bring it over to jungle. Alter's too quick on the scope. Even through the smoke, they got the scopes ready. And there it is. Marquette closing out the first half, 11-4. A dominant performance. They gave Iona that 4 in the beginning, let them equalize it, and then just steamrolled it to the finish of the half.
It's a much bigger problem having to come back for Iona now, because they're in this position where we talked about, or I went on that rant about, how everything comes together in terms of the momentum coming into this. And now Iona doesn't really have a choice but to win this and then try to bring it back, because otherwise they are going to find themselves closer and closer to map point and still in single digits. And that's a very uncomfortable position to be in, especially against a team like Marquette.
Okay, here's the rush out through apartments. They sent out the decoy because, hey, why not? And they're all flying out. Gisette, the first one to go down, even through the smoke. One player behind bench. Private Beam does find success. Remy will lose their life. Edward Prod and Alter there for the support. And as this bomb will be planted, 3 players attempting to run out from the market. However, Alter, they're good for 2, potentially, if they could round this corner and just finish things off. Regardless, snip picks in a world of hurt at the moment. Hard-pressed to even find some kill in that retake scenario.
The machine that is Marquette is in full effect now. 12-4 is a significant gap to overcome for anyone, and it's got to be weighing on Iona right now. They're playing on the CT side. It's just a difficult position to be in. There's no other way to put it.
The MP5 out. Interesting maneuver. We don't see that too often, to be honest. I'm enjoying it. It brings me back memories of COD 4. When I see the MP5, I'm like, oh, nice. What is that doing here? What is that doing in this game?
Really feeling it.
And at this point, it's what we'd expect. A little bit of a minor force from some players on the side of Iona, but they don't even have a chance to shoot back. Prod and Alter did take some minor tags in the beginning. Uh-oh, here's an opportunity for the shot. Okay. A little bit of team fire because they're just happy about it. And now it's prop hunt, essentially. Connor, hoping to survive, will remove one, turn that into a Galil, convert it. They're just gonna keep on going. Well, they got 2, and that's worth something.
something, but unfortunately the weight of each round is getting greater and greater as Marquette continues that march towards 16, and Iona's got to be feeling the pressure. Obviously, 13-4 is not where any team wants to be, but if they're going to turn this around, which is never impossible, this is definitely a place where they've got to make that stand. They're obviously making the investment in that to that effect, but Remy immediately takes out Lockdown, and Migs just on the hunt takes out Snippick. So that's 2 players off of Iona already. So that means huge responsibility for Connor, Jessup, and Private Bean. All of them coming together to find a little bit there. Private Bean
Connor.
able to get somebody with the MP5. Connor gets that second with Alter. This is not bad. I'm feeling it for Iona.
However, we got Migs in this position going through the hole. So they've slipped by undetected. Nobody even knows where they are. In fact, I think Migs saw that Connor was there over in CT and just decided to play it safe. Now they have the opportunity. Oh my God, he's going for the knife, isn't he? He's going for the knife.
Yep, he doesn't even.
He's going for the knife, folks. He's only got 9 HP. Oh my! He keeps.
What is it?
He keeps dancing around. Migs realizes, okay, he's running too quick. I can't get the shot. And I don't think Giuseppe even knows where it's coming from. There's a smoke out from Marquette's flash to follow through. And now they're okay. They've got the plant. And things are looking good. And there it is, Marquette 14-4. After a bit of clownery coming from Migs, they're able to get it done. 3 kills to their name on that round. Though you wouldn't think it based off that little tango.
Yeah, imagine if Private Bean had looked to his right and got that kill, how different the outcome of that round could have been, or if they just had a better defense to not allow him to be playing around from Marquette in the first place. That was definitely Iona. I mean, Connor did an excellent job there with a double kill. Private Bean able to make great use of the MP5. They're not out of any individual round, right? They're finding that, but Marquette is just such a well-oiled machine that they're able to take whatever the circumstances are running through the round and make something out of it. Joseph pushing up through Cat is going to find their first opening kill. This is not great as Remy pushes through to get snip picks, turns around, takes out Connor. Everything just slipping away for Iona right now.
Okay, Remy on a tear currently, picking up 3. Last 2 players on the side of Iona. I think they're going to go through that hole and give a freebie over to Remy, unless they're not expecting it. Private Bean turns the tides, turns this into a 2v3. The second they turn this corner, it's going to be a fierce opposition, but it doesn't really matter. Private Bean is good for more. They go for the gun, not expecting a third. Expect the unexpected. Now Giuseppe, the last one alive in a 1v2. This is doable. They only have a UMP. They get 1, and they're actually getting 2. Wow. They survived. I think he's looking around expecting another one, but no. You've done it. You clutched it.
Gotta fight through that adrenaline to realize what you've actually just done. You just look down at your blood-soaked hand and thinks, my God, it's over. I can finally breathe. Excellent.
Well, you gotta do it 11 more times.
Yeah, no big deal. Just get everybody down to a 1v2, give it over to Jessup, call it a day. Those are the top 1 keys to victory for Iona College, brought to you by Tyler.
Listen, everyone, like you said, everyone's looking for those Tyler tips.
Yeah, they're in high demand. Clearly high value tips that I've been saying while I just keep saying the words, all of them. Just kidding. Anyways, Marquette still obviously in a great position, 14-5, significant gap. That's 9 for all of you looking for some quick maths. Iona trying their best to keep it together, but they're on a limited supply, really, for what they can do. And so as Marquette goes in for this, they're going to try their best, but Just Red's able to take out Lockdown. That early kill is going to make a big difference. And now all of a sudden Iona team's going to have to play retakes. Snippick's able to take out Migs, which is a big player off of that Marquette side. Bomb's going to go down. Smokes are still up there. They're looking for that retake, but just looking the wrong way. Snippicks goes down as he's trying to see if there's somebody coming out from Con. Remy finding just those head pixels over the firebox. Goes in there. Prod pushing into jungle. Not quite able to finish off the kill. Only on 4 HP. Connor and Jessup, I was making jokes about it before, but it really could come down to Jessup again.
Come on, Connor. Just get 1 more for Giuseppe. Set the stage. I gotta realize that Prod is in the corner, and there's a shot from Giuseppe. 31 HP, though. But I mean, all this time has happened. All this time has passed. The bomb's going down. You took too much time, Iona. Too much time for the setup. Scared money don't make money. And it doesn't win rounds either.
So true. So true. Well, they had a chance there. I mean, that was definitely a winnable scenario from Iona, but like you said, the clock just runs out, and unfortunately, you run out of time. There's nothing you can do about it. Doesn't matter how well positioned you are. Doesn't matter what guns you've got. It is what it is, and those seconds clicked away and gave Marquette map points. So Iona literally cannot lose another map. But Remy and Just Rich trying to do something out of it as lockdown takes one. That Molly doing some work from the Snipix out there. Migs, oof. Trying to get aggressive, and I feel like maybe a little desperate. Iona tried to push up, but just wasn't ready for the Migs. Miglito, just dangerous. So dangerous.
Casual 30 bomb from Migs, but the rest of the squad certainly caught up. Oh, there's Giuseppe again. Good shot onto Alter. Last two players chilling out on mid. Giuseppe, respecting that idea, doesn't want to go to mid, but is also concerned with the fact that there could be a player palace. Honestly, Marquette is so unpredictable. There very well may be a player palace based off of their plays. However, it's going to be a B hit. 50 seconds left. Lone defender is Snipix. This is a very low attack. I mean, all the utility out from Migs. There's the smoke. There's a flash. Another one. And it allows Just Rich to find that space. And, you know, Snipix is backed off. Rich gets the first. It's just Giuseppe here. The 1v2. Time to clutch it out. You know what player's going to be here.
Oh, no.
Just Rich. They've got it on lock. They've got the shot key. And it's 16-5. Marquette. They win out Mirage. It's no problem for them. Iona only scraping together 5 rounds in that entire map. It's a difficult one to come back from.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Iona, the real challenge is Nuke. That is not a map that we see very often. I think Marquette may have been the only team this entire season that's actually actively picked it. And as a result of that, we always kind of give the advantage over to them because of how they play the maps, how they build those personnel packages, depending on, you know, which one they're playing. Iona, on the other hand, we expected Mirage to just go a little bit more in their favor in terms of, you know, what the competitive nature of that round or that map could be, just because, of course, it's Mirage. Everybody feels comfortable on that. So we're going to come back in just a couple moments to see how Marquette versus Iona on Nuke looks. So don't go anywhere. Give us a couple minutes, and very excited to see what happens next.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to EGFC CSGO. We are still in the middle of our second series of the night. It's Marquette versus Iona. Marquette coming out with an insane finish. 16-5 over Iona back on Mirage. Now we're jumping into their pick of the map, so things are definitely going to get a bit more difficult. If you're running on the Iona squad, if you're a Gales fan in the chat, you got to show them some support because they're certainly going to need it going into one of the top 3 teams' preferred map that not many other squads actually get a chance to play on. So this will be a very interesting uphill climb for Iona. If you can't read or you forgot, short-term memory, whatever the case may be, I'm Los, joined by the bearded legend of EGF. It's Viking. Viking, what are you thinking about Nuke right now?
Well, I'm always excited to see it. I mean, I think, just like a lot of leagues end up with a lot of the same maps over and over again, right? We see a lot of Overpass, see a lot of Mirage, a lot of Inferno. So every time we get to something a little bit different, whether that's Ancient, Nuke, or even Vertigo, regardless of who the teams are, I'm just pumped to be here, to witness it happening. Like you said, Marquette had a pretty dominant map 1, and this is their map choice. So I would expect that we're probably going to see another class in how to play this map from the Marquette squad. They do a lot of shutdown plays, especially when they're playing on the CT side. They're going to start off on the T as it was their map choice. So Iona is going to have to do everything they can to rack up as many rounds on this side while they have the opportunity to do so. But that being said, Marquette, I expect to be very aggressive in a lot of their opening strategies. I'm going to continue to just try to put themselves in a place where if they can bully, they're going to bully. And if they have to slow it down just to get what they want, which is what they seem to be doing right now, then they'll just find another way to bully. It's what they do. It's where they like to play.
It's a lot. Cyberbullying not fully encouraged by EGF. We don't
No.
sanction that one. Only the server. Oh my God, Prod got a knife. Come on, come on. You gotta have some. You don't need bulletproof Kevlar. You need knife-proof Kevlar. Right now, if you're Iona, Connor, they have to push out from mini. There is one player. It's a full-on distraction. He's just buying so much time right now. The will die. That being Remy finally goes down. And somehow the bomb isn't even planted yet because there's so much pressure right now. Migs finds 2. Now it's 2v1. Snipix all alone over by those double doors. They run up. Looking for the shot. They have to back off, going back to decon.
Oh, and they're moving the bomb back up. Oh, of course they are. But Snipix seems to know this is happening, so he's already on the move back to that position. I love that read. That is an excellent sense. Whether you know how Marquette likes to play in just their trolley ways, there was an excellent way to get in there. So now it's whether or not Snipix is going to be able to find those opening headshots, because that's really his only choice with the amount of HP that he's got left.
I mean, definitely a winnable situation for sure, but the clock is ticking. Not to mention, they do not have a kit available. An adjustment of position. Migs goes through Squeaky and runs out of the hut. Snipix was right to check that corner, but they didn't realize that they'd already moved. It was too late. And with the presence coming in from heaven, it was just an unwinnable scenario. The time, the players, the repositioning, everything was going against Iona. But, it's only the pistol. There's still plenty of CS here on Nuke.
It is. We see Marquette aggressively buying into their second round with the bomb down. Lots of Galils out across the board. Migs already off onto a great start, carrying over his 30-plus bomb on Mirage, starting out this first round with 4 kills. So he's not interested in slowing down one step. We already see him pushing from that marshmallow position, finding and tackle a newcomer on the Iona squad subbing in. And he's just raining down hell from that marshmallow position. And Marquette has established quite a bit of dominance from that outside position. Iona College not able to find a single frag on their second round as they tried to find anything without eco. So they're going to go into this third round and make the decision whether or not they want to buy up into the money that they got or just push it off for another round, put their best foot forward as soon as they're able to. Looks like there's a bit of a mixed buy, a late buy coming in. They are going to go for it. And they're going to see a couple M4s, some SMGs, and 2 FAMASs. Whether or not that's going to be enough to take out Marquette is to be seen.
And tackle something in there for Giuseppe's, who provided some great plays toward the end. A full-on rush from Remy. Does find a tackle, but there will be punished from Snipix chilling up in heaven. So now they do have vent control right now. However, the issue is they don't have outside control. With all these kills, it's only 2 players left here for Iona. This is going to be a difficult one. Connor in a position to potentially push this retake out through Secret, but the issue is going to be time again. You know, Connor has the defuse kit, but I don't think they're opting to make that play. Gonna back off, save because they have an M4. They got the FAMAS. Let's chill out in the garage. Maybe get some exit frags if they go hunting for you. And that's about it. That's all you can do at this point, really, Tyler.
Yeah, we see Marquette already pushing for that. Oh, they know somebody's in big garage and they're going for it. Snipix is going to be able to get 2, but goes down. Oh, that's all of the players from Iona unable to carry any weapons over into the next round. They do take 2 down with them, but that's going to be a shallow victory in their minds as they are still in a position where they need to put their first round on the board. They are able to buy back into this. You see Connor probably going towards that Vince position with the Mag 7. So a little bit of an opportunity to build up some economy there. Otherwise, full rifles on the rest of the team with the FAMAS on lockdown. Tackle going for that wide swing is going to do just the tiniest bit of damage. There's going to be some trades there between lockdown and Mandalore. Mandalore subbing in for this map on the side of Marquette.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that they're known for. Oh, Connor with the swag 7. Here's a response, and that's a lot of cash. Trading up for the AK as well. Snipix coming in from the top rope. Removes 2. And that's huge. Now it's all up to Migs. Oh my god, Snipix. Very close to losing their life. The fall damage got some broken ankles at the moment. Now Migs back in the lobby. Got the bomb in their control, so they can make a play here. Remove Connor from play. Things got a bit easier, but it's far from over now. Snipix chilling by Squeaky. Door's already been broken, so it's free entry. At this point, it's not going to be the play. And toward radio, potentially execute over to B from ramp. Snipix is reading that. Going to maneuver through the vents, head downstairs into the tunnels, and prep for that entry. But if we're actually taking a look, there has been no ramp play. Migs is heading all the way into hell. And even around? What are we... Oh my god, he's going to climb up outside of heaven. Go in. Go for the kill. Most likely a knife. Oh no, Private Bean. Private Bean's waiting. They know the trickery. They know the tomfoolery that comes with this squad, and they're not allowing it.
I'm absolutely loving the reads from Iona right now. I mean, you saw that like the first time around where Snipix is trying to come in for that clutch. Got the wrong timing on the read, but knew the right places to look. That time around, they were sussing out everything that was going on as it was happening, able to take down quite a scary opponent in Migs. I mean, we're talking about the frag leader across the first map in the second. Lockdown coming in, spraying down is going to do a little bit of damage after taking out Prod, but Marquette is taking over the A bomb site, but there's still plenty of people alive. Mandalore finds Snipix around the side there. They've got full control now at this point with members coming in. Migs just casually flicks up to heaven, takes out Connor. 3 members left of Iona, and now with the bomb down, the clock is ticking for them for this to make this retake.
Oh, and an attempted flank from heaven. Won't find the successes. Just Rich locking it down on the other side of those cooling towers. So that's another round there for Marquette. The response they were looking for, the response they needed. I mean, we have seen in the past where Iona College was earning 1 round, and Marquette kind of just trolled a good deal. This won't be the case. They are going in for those full buys. We aren't seeing as many trolley... I mean, what am I saying? Of course we saw some trolley plays in this game, but Marquette is still able to respond with those victories. Currently, a posture outside. There hasn't been much control of outside if we're looking at Iona right now. I mean, Attack's holding into Mini at the moment. That will be the main defense, but the double smoke to allow them to get to garage control is going to be huge. They're trying to respond with aggression on the side of Iona, get back into lobby, but it's completely denied.
I really like the thought. I mean, you want to try to close those gaps as much as possible. You want to try to make the best use of the pistols and the weapons that you've got. Unfortunately, the timing just not quite working out, and Marquette being very savvy. So, sort of the expectation, knowing that the economic situation of Iona was going to force that eco. So Marquette playing it just conservatively enough not to give up any free kills, unfortunately, for the side of Iona. And so now it's just Private Bean left trying to find something. Unfortunately, he runs into the crosshair of Just Rich, falling down from the heavens, takes out Private Bean. That is the end of the 6th round. As we go into 7, Marquette is up 5-1.
That was another flawless round by Marquette. At the moment, Money Looking kind of tight, but they do have enough for buys. Issue is not full utility coming out of this squad. Connor back on the op, so this should be a good time for them to flex those scopes, bring out some long-range shots, but this is a rush toward radio. They're all heading over to ramp. Connor starts things off, but now that they've got one, they're only good for one. Remy will trade that thing out. There's so much pressure coming in the 5-man rush toward radio, so there wasn't anything they could do. The fact that they were able to walk out with that first one is good enough, but now here's Private Bean sending out the flash. Maybe not expecting Prod here. Prod looking for another snip pick, says no. I get the kill. It's a 3v3 again, but the bomb's already down on B.
Great one-for-one trade to keep Iona in this, and he's gonna see down. Oh, he just sees the pixel, gets the pre-fire out. Just Rich takes out lockdown. Iona able to answer, and Intago getting his first kill on the board, and of course it's Just Rich. Migs and Remy, two very scary players. Snip Picks able to find the head of Remy, but Migs immediately trades that out. Oh, just the wrong direction at the wrong time. The story of the life of the enemy of Marquette. Migs once again the clutch master for Marquette.
That's just the way things go at this point. Iona, I don't even know. At this point, it's difficult to deal with this because the strategies are changing every time for Marquette. They're unreadable, but I also think there's plays that are simply being called at the beginning of the round, and they just run with it. They just say, oh, go here. They probably send out 2 outside, and it works because they have the advantage in terms of utility. They can smoke and flash what they want at this point, and there isn't enough support to defend outside. As you can see, Intackle is the only one in Garage, but now they have full control. They could go wherever they want at this point. Shots up toward heaven. Just Rich looking for another one, but even if they don't finish the kill, Migs is already climbing up the boxes to take control of that position. Now the last 2 players, we have Private Bean and Connor on opposite sides of this map, but they will get together from ramp. Maybe jumping down from heaven. That would be Private Bean and Connor working together. The positions of both of these players have been known when it's a 2v2. They've got defuse kits at the ready. I think they have to do this. It's got, oh my god. It was a collat from Remy.
That was an excellent play by Marquette to just close that out. Remy, of course, one of those players from Marquette that you can always count on, as has been the case with really everybody on this team. Iona is finding just snips of success, right? They're finding some of these kills. They're finding a lot of these openings and able to counter a lot of the aggression from Marquette in different ways. But as you said, Marquette finds enough map control. They just come from all directions and make it very, very difficult for really anything to come out of that. Mandalore finding that opening kill onto Connor is going to be returned by Snip Picks. Snip Picks goes down to Just Rich. Remy finding Private Bean, trying to push through radio room. Marquette once again has full control of upper, and now they're going to go hunting for Tackle and Lockdown, both trying to hold on to their process.
And there goes Tackle. Last one, their position has been revealed. Lockdown can't seem to escape from the garage. This is just an impressive first half here from Marquette. The T side is unstoppable. And now they're in a bad economic position as well. So the question is, do they force up? Do they try and buy some SMGs, hold some tight angles, maybe get the M4s in? But at that rate, you won't be able to get the full Kevlar. The helmet's not coming through, and certainly not enough money for those diffusers.
Yeah, those diffuser kits we've seen in so many rounds this evening, really, across all of the matches. A lot of these rounds are coming down to, just a couple points or a couple seconds rather on the clock, either for the bomb or for the round. Private Bean takes off Migs' head, who's trying to take that marshmallow dominance once again. That's going to be a great opening find from them. Prod, who's gotten himself all the way into the position of around the vents, takes out Snip Picks and Lockdown, and Tackle on the lower bomb side, takes out Rush Rich before being traded out by Mandalore. This is a 2v2, made that a 2v1. Private Bean goes down, but Connor is still on the board, so Mandalore and Prod got to feel confident that they've got a pairing, but Connor is a dangerous player on the team, on the Iona team.
Not to mention, they've got control of the bomb. I think the issue is Prod decides to peek here first. There's no angle being covered, as Connor's looking solely toward radio, solely to the right. But it's a gamble, If you are Prod, you don't want to go first. But now that you have support, now that you have that teammate, you can risk running both of it. But Connor is there for the clutch, and Iona gets their second.
That was an excellent play from Connor right there. The clutch master for the Iona team, able to double the rounds of Iona, finding their second. They are still behind by 6 rounds, but getting anything on this board has got to feel pretty good. And this is going to allow Iona to buy again back into this round, find just a taste of success. And sometimes that's all you need. So now they're going to come into this round with a fresh, renewed sense of confidence. Marquette not changing their game plan whatsoever. They're going hard for that B site. Connor finding one before he gets taken down by Remy. There's a lot of damage going down onto that Marquette team, and Tackle able to get one before Remy finds him. There's a smoke going down there, but Snitpicks doing his team great honor here, getting that second onto Miggs. Remy is the only one left, a hugely dangerous player from Marquette all the same, but 3 players from Iona might be too much. Make that 2.
Not to mention that nade that was thrown earlier that dealt so much damage to the players of Marquette. It made the shots through the smoke that much more impactful. Oh, here it is, the end. Snitpicks finds Remy in that attempt to sneak through heaven, but it won't be the case. Bomb was already locked down. There was nowhere for Remy to go, and that will be it. Iona is back with their 3rd round.
I'm not going to call anything, but it is encouraging to see some wins, because Marquette, when they get going, it can be very difficult to stop that momentum, and just the way that they play is so dominating that it can be really difficult to find any salvation whatsoever. So Iona being able to pull that back this late in is great. That being said, Mandalore not ready to give up, takes out Private Bean immediately, and Mandalore finding the second lockdown or on the smoke outside. They've got that full dominance, and they're going to have carte blanche for what they want to do. Connor trying to answer, takes out Mandalore on the outside. Snitpicks takes out the second. They're keeping control of inside for the time being, but Marquette is not slowing down.
Okay, well, there's the signal. We saw that Connor realized a player went down the fence. And this is the rotation coming into effect, and Tackle already in position. Got broad and it was even looking for more. So ravenous for blood. Took a shot at their teammate, but it's okay. Going to be walking through now. It's the 3v2. The bomb hasn't been planted yet. We've got Remy in the rat hole, biding their time as they need some support from their fellow teammate, Just Rich. Has made it through all the way into heaven. There's a spot over onto a Tackle. Now maybe Snitpicks. Connor wants to give the support, and the trade is there. It's good. The last player still on the site. Remy walks out of the smoke. Might be able to isolate this fight, and they do. Now opening the double doors. This is a signal for Snitpicks. They're going to run in through secret. I'm going to slow it down. 30 seconds on the clock. Remy doesn't care about taking this. They just want to duel it out. Since Snitpicks isn't biting, it might even create a bit of an issue for them. They don't have too much time. They're expecting the rotation out of Snitpicks. And this is going to be a freebie. He's going to walk right into the cross. Wait, what is going on right now? What is happening? Oh my God. No way.
How did that happen?
No way. How is that possible?
The
round was in Iona's hands. I should have won.
I can't believe that. I'm sure that something like that has happened before, but I have not seen it in one of our matches so far. That is just POV at its finest, and that should have been Iona's 4th round, hands down, but just by sheer luck, I guess. Wow.
The stars aligned on that one.
Yeah.
The stars
somebody
aligned.
up there really wants Marquette to win this game.
Just unfortunate timing. Snitpicks now the last one alive. They did find a kill on the Migs and go for that repeak on the Mandalore, but they're already too low, 2 tagged up before that first one. And that's another easy win here for Marquette. Only 1 casualty. So it's 10-3 at the moment, and the money is just compounding here for Marquette. I do have enough for some light rifles. They could get the Scout, a couple FAMASs, and only 1 M4 at the cost of some helmets, and especially those diffuse kits. Not everyone can walk in with some utility either, but there's a nade. It does find a little bit of chip damage to the players running through outside, but oh my God, Biggs, the second they jump onto that schmallow, it's done for.
Schmallow. So true. So true. Lockdown does find Prod, so that's 1, but the Marquette team just bloody into that position is going to find 2 in Lockdown and Snitpicks, and Marquette once again dominating the round. Connor trying his best to put his team on his back. Does a little bit of damage, but ultimately goes down to Just Rich. So this 3v1 in Marquette looks like it's going to end up being their 11th round on the board. And man, that I guess I don't even know what you'd call it. The mystical round from Marquette or something seems to have just kind of broken the Iona ability to respond, really.
Now we're jumping in here to the final round of the first half. And, you know, those lost bonuses are still giving them tools to work with within the round. They still have actual weapons. They're not very desperate to the point of all buying SMGs. Private Bean does do it, but that's because they want to bring utility into it. And that's the sacrifice, really. At this point, you're just going to have to opt for those close-range plays if you want to have the ability to stop rushes. But, you know, in most cases, the players are dying before the utility can even be thrown around. Lockdown, with 1 kill, might be able to convert that into a upgraded rifle. Won't be the case, and there's Biggs out alone, hunting for some extra kills rather than playing with the rest of their team. That's going to cost them. So it's turning into a 2v3 for the retake. Lockdown already taking a serious amount of damage in the halls, and that's a Kobe from Prod. So we needed 1 this map. And Just Rich waiting for the drop. And that's it. That's the first half. Marquette walking away with 12 here. Iona only eking out 3. This is a difficult one indeed for them, but things can certainly turn the tide as we jump into the second half of Nuke.
I suppose we can say we were expecting this outcome on paper, right? And especially because of just you know, the map itself favoring Marquette so heavily. But I will say, for the sake of Iona, there have been so far quite a few glimmers of brilliance, and I think if that knife had gone, or that attempted knife rather, had gone the other, no, sorry, it was a knife, gone the other direction, this could have been a very different game coming into this second half. Of Prod doing some crazy work with those dualies. We've been joking about them, but they're doing work. Migs and Just Rich cleaning up. Snippix is only able to trade out for Migs, so this is Marquette continuing their dominance going into the second half, getting their 13th round, leaving Iona at just 3 on the game so far, on the map so far.
Expected force up, as you can see. They didn't even get the plant on the side of Iona. So the money will be tight going into this one. Do have two forces, UMP as well as the scout, Connor. This is a interesting play. 3 running outside, 1 on top of the marshmallow. And Migs jumps through the vent, looking to meet the players coming from secret. It'll be an interesting one to see if they can win that one out. Here's Snippix starting things off, and they do find the kill. Upgrade to an MP9. They have to meet up to Prod, who tagged in. They peppered in a lot of damage onto those players by double doors, but it isn't over yet. Jumping off from the top of Mini. It's going to be the end of Connor. Now it's a 1v3, 1v2 now, but right behind the last player, Snippix. They're going to have to deal with some more damage, and it's a pincer maneuver. They're all alone, and Snippix just has too many angles to cover in the end.
Overwhelming force by the side of Marquette is going to earn them their 14th round. And so now Iona trying their best to just get whatever they can out of this. This is a league where rounds matter. So even if they are not looking at this from the sense of being able to win 13 in a row to take Marquette out on their own map choice, they should be trying to get as many rounds as they possibly can. So they're going to try to do that with whatever they've got left. Unfortunately, for the side of Iona right now, that what they've got left is not very much. Mandalore picking out the first, tries for the second, but actually goes down to Private Bean's MP5. So that's going to be a little bit of a bright spot, but that missed flash is going to be a bit of a missed opportunity for Iona to try to get onto the follow-up. Connor on the top of Marshmallow with that scout trying to do some damage, but Migs pops up, takes out Private Bean. Oh, he's going for that long-range Marshmallow pick.
Okay. Yeah, if that was earned, if that was secured, that would just be some illegal gameplay. Migs goes down, rightfully so. Connor puts them to rest, and there's actually a player right below them. And they find the second onto Remy, turning this into a 1v2. Kills of their name so far. Might be able to find a better piece of hardware to work with as they were playing so close. You gotta watch out. Death from above. Prod has moved through the lobby, and now they have that aerial advantage. Might even jump on the marshmallow themselves.
Oh, that's not unfortunate. The best upgrade is an MP5. All right, from the M4. That's good.
Now they've got angles on every side covered. Just Rich position revealed. And it may be too long before Prod can make their way into it. But in the end, it will be won out by Just Rich themselves. And now we are on map in series point 15-3 right now. And this is a difficult looking scenario if you're Iona College.
We're going to try our best to send our energy over to Iona and try to give them a couple more maps before this is over, but it's looking pretty dire as Marquette is on map point and they've shown no signs of slowing down. You see Spitpix going down immediately, and Tackle somehow manages to get all the way through the flames, takes out Just Rich before falling to Migs. This is quite a battle. Connor trying his best to make sure that he's doing whatever he can to keep his team up there. He's going to get that first kill, plus loses to Lockdown, who trades out Mandalore. Prod takes out that final kill. That was a very, very quick round, and Marquette's going to take this 16-3.
Even a greater round disparity coming in, as we would have expected. Marquette is one of the very few squads that practices nuke, that loves to pick into nuke, so it only makes sense that they're going to win with such oppressive behavior on their preferred map pick. But, you know, Iona, they gave it their best. They put in a good amount of rounds, or at least they tried to put in a good amount of rounds. But in the end, it's just such a difficult way when you're going against one of the top squads in this league. So rightfully so, GG's to Iona, but Marquette coming out 2-0. But we're going to be right back with an interview with Migs, as we've seen him almost too many times here on the EGF stream. But we're going to be right back with an interview, so don't go anywhere. Be here after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC CSGO. We wrapped up that series. It's 2-0 there for Marquette. And to bring us through on the action, how it all happened, we've got Migs. Migs, welcome back. How are you feeling after that victory?
Pretty good. I was feeling pretty good today. We started a little slow, but once we got rolling, it was kind of just Marquette disrespect train, kind of almost. But yeah, uh,
Uh,
the just the ultra aggro. But I was feeling myself, so I was kind of over peaking stuff. I was feeling my aim, and the rest of the guys brought up the rear, and it was great. So everybody performed well today.
That's a funny way to describe it. I think that's very similar to what we were talking about on stream. I think after the first map where you dropped your first 30 bomb that we've seen in a little bit has been pretty significant. And I was going to ask, I mean, obviously you come into this, you got to feel pretty good about the nuke pick.
Mhm.
Did you have any hesitations on Mirage? I mean, I know you guys, as we've seen you a lot before, tend to get into this position of once you're up, you kind of go into bully mode, right? You're trying to be as oppressive as you can. Saw a little bit of hesitation going into that on Mirage initially. Was there any doubts in your mind, or was it, like you said, just a slow start?
It was just a slow start. I don't think any of us warmed up really for the game. So we just, Iona came out and just got a couple rounds early. And so I'm just like, hey guys, just relax, like, just play our game. And it ended up going pretty well from there. I think we played pretty well there. And Mirage is not one of our maps. So we're just like, we'll just play our defaults. Uh, we'll just play just how we normally play if it was as if it was a pug. And so yeah, I mean, I was feeling pretty good with the nuke pick. Obviously, we're comfortable on that. Last week when we lost to Colorado on it, obviously I wasn't there. I was in Florida, so getting a little more confidence back on that map is great. Having the full 5 for that map as well. So
Absolutely. And speaking of nuke, I've got two questions. One, obviously, there was I don't even know how you describe it, like a bit of a, I don't know, a magician's pick or something. I don't know. We were in small garage, and we thought it was going to be a very free kill for Iona, getting that clutch kill, and I think it would have been their 5th round on the board. Both of them end up walking right next to each other. Can you talk to me
oh,
about how that happened or what was going on?
we were all just silent. We were watching Remy. I have no idea what happened. All I just see is a CT walk onto a screen. We're all just like, and so obviously Remy, just because it's Remy, pulls out his knife, knifes him. But I mean, I have no idea how just the timing on that, where neither of them 4-3, 16. I don't even know. That was just an insane little thing timing that happened. But that's just CS. So
Uh, yeah, it certainly is. And I guess one of the beauties of it, I suppose you could say. One question that I have is more about your current position in the rankings. So
mhm.
with the win over Iona, you're going to be, at least for the time being, above DePaul. They're going to play Marist next. And I know there's been this constant back and forth. You're only separated by one map. Is there any way that you're thinking about the position that you're in relative to the top 3, or now that we're getting into the position of thinking of playoffs, any particular thoughts going through your minds as you're prepping, as you're kind of gaming out the last of the season?
I mean, this was our last game of the season. I know DePaul also has another game next week. But I mean, they don't actually. Oh, then never mind. Okay. Then I guess I mean I see DePaul taking that 2-0. Honestly, they did pick Inferno against Marist, but USA also beat Marist last week on it, or 2 weeks ago, whatever that was. So I mean, I still see DePaul taking it 2-0. In terms of the standings, I kind of don't care where we're at this point. Whether it's 2 or 3, we're obviously going to be one of the top 3 teams. Seeding's not going to be that important. We still have group stages heading into nationals, so we're just excited to look forward to it. But yeah, I mean, DePaul, yeah, they're probably going to pull through. Colorado's obviously at the top. But I mean, out of the 3 teams, we're the only one that made ESCA Open playoffs. I don't know what the heck happened to the other 2, but they need to step it up because they're better than that, and I'm going to give them the credit for it. So
There you go, some words of encouragement for them.
Yeah, you got the special shout out this week. Should you go to them like, hey guys, step it up. We know
mhm.
what you're capable of. But anyways, you came in 2 maps up, 2 maps down, a little bit of clownery and trolling, I'm gonna have to say,
Yep.
here and there. But now you did it. Is there anything or anyone that you want to give a special shout out to before we get you out of here?
Yeah, special shout out to the guys in chat. I know my guy, or the MU boys and the Iona guys are going at each other. It's kind of fun, but yeah, it sounds like I'm talking with my nose plugged. By the way, that's just how I am, my guy. So, but yeah, special shout out to the MU guys in chat. To my teammates, they played well today. Got a little bit of a busy weekend with ESEA playoffs, so we're still gonna be grinding, still gonna be playing for the rest of the week, and then it's time to prepare for nationals. So.
Nose plugged, no problem. It's Migs, it's Marquette coming in 2-0. Congrats on your win, and good luck in that postseason.
Thank you.
All right, folks, so that's going to wrap up our second series of the night. 2 2-0s in a row. Maybe it'll continue as we head on to our next series of Counter-Strike. We'll be right back after this quick break. So don't go anywhere. The CS action continues.